Campus Tour crew, welcome back everybody here on our journey to get a win with every single team in College Football 27, road to the College Football Playoff game mode. Today, our first executive decision, our first change on the schedule, we are going to be using the TCU Horned Frogs because this is coming out on Friday. Tomorrow, week 0, the college football season officially starts with North Carolina taking on TCU in jolly old Ireland. That's not the saying, but we are going with it. We already used North Carolina. Seemed like a good time for us to use TCUs. They were just requested by the Rabbit 68. Thank you for that suggestion. If there's a team you guys want to see on the campus tour sooner rather than later, make sure to leave it down in a comment below. There's a pinned comment showing every team that's been requested. Essentially, this is why I always say essentially what our current schedule is. Now with college football picking up, I'm going to move some things around for games or teams I specifically want to talk about before we get back on our regular schedule after that. But that's essentially our schedule. To the right of that, all the available teams that still need to be requested. Anybody you see there that you want to see here, let me know about it. Couple quick self plugs before we get into it too far here with TCU, and there's quite a bit to talk about here with the Horned Frogs. Number one, for our online dynasty. I keep saying online dynasty. It's just our dynasty channel, OMT Dynasty. Link for that right up in the top left there. We do run our online dynasty over there. All group 6 teams, 2 stars or less. All of our games with Western Kentucky. Most weeks we do a game of the week featuring 2 other users if I have the time. It's been a ton of fun. If that's interesting to you, go check that out. And then we are going to be doing some more offline dynasty stuff using a modded version of this game on the PC where everything gets reset back to 2007, and we're going to do some rebuilds on there. It's all going to be coach mode stuff. Going to have some house rules for recruiting, so like year 1 I'm not just going after Julio Jones, AJ Green, and Andrew Luck if we're going to be the Wisconsin Badgers, right? We're going to try to keep it as realistic as we possibly can while still trying to get the job done and still trying to win a national championship with a few teams. So our first stream of that is going to be this Saturday while we're just hanging out and watching the game. So OMT Dynasty going to be the place for all of that. Quick plug number 2 for the memberships here on the channel. The Campus Tour crew starts at just $5 a month, is by far the best way to help support this channel, as well as getting you a little early access to most of our videos here. So huge shout out and huge thank you to all the members that we currently have. So that should cover what we got to cover here. Let's get into it here with TCU. There's me a couple special notes as we go through the depth chart and get to a couple players. We're going to go over the playbook here. It does seem quite a bit different. I guess I could look that up and compare the 27 to 26, but I like it. I like what I see from this TCU team a lot. First, let's get to the depth chart. So tier 3 team here with TCU. I originally actually had them set up. I was going to use the North Texas or the Rice playbook like we did with North Texas, but I don't know. Let's actually use them in campus tour first, and then going forward, maybe we can use them for that too, because I was going to use Jack Dalton. But we are going to keep Jaden Craig as our quarterback 1. Sleight of hand, step up on time, still 87 speed, so can still 100% get out and make plays for you, just not quite as much as Jack Dalton. Let's check the throwing stats here of Mr. Craig, because he felt pretty dang good in this game. 87 throw power, very, very nice. 88 short, 87 medium. 78 deep. That is a heck of a quarterback for only being an 80 overall with those abilities, with that speed. We really like this guy. And I did double check, TCU is a tier 3 team, and this team's freaking loaded. I like this team so much, especially with his halfback Jeremy Payne. 94 speed, 93 agility, 96 acceleration, 90 change of direction. This guy is unbelievable with that gold human joystick. Now with them patching the speed boosting, he's not as good as he would have been a week or 2 ago whenever that update came out. This guy's still a ton of fun. I really enjoy using this halfback Jeremy Payne. Wide receiver also looking fantastic. Major Everhart, he for me has been the MVP of this TCU team since College Football 25. Still got that 95 speed. Platinum Escape Artist, I don't even know what that really does, because isn't that just like improved movement in the pocket? Why does every single gadget receiver in the world get that? I don't know, but he's gonna be our wide receiver 1. Wide receiver 2, Jordan Dwyer, double dip and jukebox, 86 overall with that 91 speed. Another 92 speed on Dorian Exum and a silver jukebox, 92 speed on Terry Shelton. This is such a fast offense. It's unbelievable. Tier 3 team, and we have, well, really we have 5 receivers 91 speed or above. Now in real life, this poor guy, from the articles I have read, and this is all, allegedly, gotta cover our asses here. He ended up getting sucker punched by one of the safeties here on TCU. We'll talk about in a second, because he beat him so bad on a route in practice, is what I read. I don't know if that's 100% true or not. But either way, a brutal break, and honestly, I probably should have played him here in this game. 6'3" with 91 speed, hiding down here on the bench. But yeah, Dozy took quite a doozy of a shot and is going to miss their game against North Carolina because of it. I guess he's in the hospital. From everything I've read, he will be back on the team. Just needs a little extra time to recover, and just a crazy story. We talk a little bit more about it during a game, but even without him, this wide receiver room of TCU is phenomenal. At tight end, we're gonna have 76 overall, 84 speed, Mr. Pimpton, 6'6", 250, and this big guy can move. I will tell you that much for sure. Offensive line, very solid left tackle, ground and pound inside shield second level, 86 overall. You got a pocket shield, PA shield on your center, pocket shield second level on your right guard, nothing on your right tackle. But still a very, very good offensive line. And with how bad offensive lines are in this game, any abilities we can get, we are going to take across our offensive line. We'll talk about our edges more when we get to our specialists. Let's just go to corners, where on one side we're going to have Devondra McGee, 6'2", 91 speed on the outside. Then Kalen Carroll, he is only 88 speed, but he gets ball hawking, 6'1", so we will keep him on the outside. This guy, though, has got to find a spot on the field. He's only 5'7". That is a problem. But he's 91 speed and he has platinum robber. I feel like he's just got to get out there somewhere, so we end up putting him, Darius Adams, as our slot corner in this one. Up at free safety, Kylan Jackson's going to get the start up for us over Jacob Fields, because he is the safety that has been kicked off the team. Honestly, I probably wasn't going to start him anyway in this game, but because he's 6'3", Jackson is, with 3 more speed compared to 5'11" and 86 speed, so easy choice for us to start Jackson here anyway. I'm going to be very curious to see. So I'm recording this on Tuesday. It's coming out on Friday. I'm really hoping, they said there's going to be a roster update sometime before week 0. I'm hoping that's on Thursday, and I imagine he's just not even going to be on the roster at all anymore. So this is kind of a little time capsule, a little piece of history to see Jacob Fields as the starting free safety here for TCU. Where we are 100% set and looking fantastic, though, is our strong safety, Jamel Johnson. Knockout, ball hawk, layout, and house call. 90 overall, 88 speed, 6'1". That's going to do. That's going to do just fine. And speaking of TCU safeties really quick, I did see Bud Clark seem to suffer a pretty bad injury in Seattle's training camp. That's too bad, because Everhart might have been the MVP of the offense. Bud Clark was the MVP of the defense. I always pull for guys that I just like using in this game, so I was pulling for Bud Clark, and that was definitely too bad. But Jamel Johnson, a fantastic starting strong safety. So on our edges now, secondary's looking good here for TCU. How about a silver quick jump on one side with Carter Buck, a silver quick jump on the other side with Chad Woodfork? 2 silver quick jumps for a tier 3 team. Yes, sir, we take that so fast. Rusty tackles, we don't really have much here. Sub linebackers, I'm going to be starting Ryan Yates, 6'1", 200 pounds, 72 strength with 91 speed. I think he'll hold up okay against the run. Then we have a Mike linebacker here, Dominguez, 6'2", still 86 speed though, with a knockout ability. So we like our sub linebackers top to bottom. I really like how this TCU team sets up for me. So let's hop into the playbook here, go over the different formations we are going to use. But now what I kind of wish I went to a little bit more and didn't was their different split formations. I think these look like a ton of fun, especially with the faster quarterback that we got here with this team. So like we go to the split close formation, we have some triple options we could have done. We see some read options, a lot of different interesting fun things, and we have good backup halfbacks too that you could put into these spots and would do really, really well. So if we use TCU again at some point, use this playbook again, especially the split close. I think this formation looks like a ton of fun. That close halfback wheel, corner, fullback trail, those all look like good just stock pass plays. The triple option, the fullback inside, the halfback power, pivot dig halfback rail, mash, drive halfback wheel, like a ton of really good, interesting looking plays in this split close formation. And one that might warrant a little further research into TCU here. But let's get to the formations we're actually going to be using here with the Horned Frogs. That's going to start off with this Y off trips nasty. Got that PA double post, flood halfback swing. Both look pretty standard. It's these 3 pass plays that I like a lot. That double cross, I like to throw a drag on our tight end setup, kind of that high low between him and that slot receiver over on the right. Dagger whips a lot like, what's the play out of Trips X Nasty? It's set up very similar to this. And I, of course, just can't think. It's the like exact same setup. We have essentially what's a seam streak, but it's coming from our tight end. You got that whip route on your slot receiver, and then that kind of deep dig coming from the outside. Very, very good stock route combination on there. And slot divide, that could potentially be a nice bomb for you too, with RB going deep over the middle. You got just a standard inside zone and an RPO read wide flat with a tight end like we've got here with TCU. Having some of those to mix in is very, very nice. So I like the looks of this Y off Trips Nasty quite a bit. We've also got both Trips tight end and Trips tight end offset weak. Love having both of those. Outside of their gun bunch, my favorite thing about Rutgers is that you have both of these Trips tight ends, because I think they both have their merit. They've both got good things going on for them. This regular Trips tight end, that Y shallow crossplay, very nice. The stock verticals, can't go too wrong with that. Some more read options, more speed options. Catch somebody a little bit off guard with that speed at quarterback, with that insane speed at halfback that we've got here. Same thing with a QB strong power, that tight end screen. I wasn't brave enough to try that, but maybe that's something. I don't know. Then in Trips tight end offset week, we've got my favorite version of verticals in the entire game, I believe we have in here. Yes, we do. We have that halfback on the same side as the verticals and then just running that quick out into the space vacated by all those guys going deep. It's just really good and does really, really well against man coverage there too. Got some RPOs, utilize the speed of this TCU team. That's always kind of what we want to do with a team like TCU. Just get the ball out quick, get it in space, get it to your playmakers, let them go make some gosh dang plays. That's a basic air raid philosophy. Oh, and also I did look it up. The playbooks are wildly different from 26 to 27. They hired a new offensive coordinator back in January, Gordon Samus, who came over from UConn. So it's an incredibly different offensive playbook. I don't know if they're going to be as much of an air raid team as they have been in the past. There's definitely still some sprinkles of it in this playbook though, because I first noticed because we have like no spread formations, which I thought was kind of weird, but like the middle slant, just get it out quick. Just get that ball out quick, because you do have these trips formations that I like a lot too. Dagger, we see that same kind of route the halfback is on. That's going to just fry man coverage, a nice quick out, a deeper in, and a seam shriek. Really good combination of things going on there. Some more RPO, some more read options, things like that. Then you get to tray open. And what really threw me off when I was looking at this playbook, and we see we have a very similar play here with Salem too that we talked about in that Y off Trips Nasty formation, I think it was. Seam streak, zig route, kind of deep in on the outside. Just a really, really good combo. And this Y drag is nice. Any sort of mesh that involves your halfback, defenses really, really struggle to guard those. So we like having those kind of things. But what really threw me off, I did not expect TCU to have this freaking gate formation. I hate this formation. I can literally never get it to work for me, so I just straight up never call it. So we just stay away from gun gate. You do have a little empty in here to mix in if you want. In this too, we have a ton of different pistol formations. You have some single back, you have some I form, so definitely not the TCU of old, not the TCU we're used to, but still some really good stuff in their shotgun. We don't go to any of this down here. That just ain't my bag. We stay in the shotgun, but still a very, very good playbook, a very good depth chart. Let's see how we can do with TCU. Well, we did eventually find ourselves a tier 3 game here against Boise State. Got some custom unlocked uniforms going on there. Is a PC guy, which always worries me a little bit because they've got some nasty tricks up their sleeve they might be able to pull out from time to time. But a first time seeing the blue turf here this year is TCU getting ready to start the actual college football season next week. Getting ready to kick us off here right now. Well, not next week, tomorrow. What? On Saturday. This is coming out on Friday. Starting the season tomorrow, ready to start us off this time. And surprise, surprise, we're starting with the frickin' ball again. And I did double check. We do have it set to not to receive, to kick. And it just receive every single time. It doesn't matter. Okay. So, TCU. Real life, I honestly have no idea what to expect out of TCU. I like the looks of the team in this game, though, quite a bit. We'll see if we're going to be able to pop a run here early. Oh, I'll break that tackle. Fight for me, 26. Another D-line user here, potentially. I like the looks of the team here in this game. We'll see how that's going to translate to real life. Obviously, I probably talked about it a little bit in the intro. But I had quite a few issues going on there about not exactly what you want to see about a week before the season starts. right over the top, right there. Beautiful ball into Exum. Take it out the sideline, brother. But yeah, they're like the wide receiver, the safety, a whole mess. I don't even, you know, you got to say allegedly. It's an ongoing thing. But really, you know, you thought the main issue going into that game was North Carolina was going through quite the off season themselves this past year here too, with Belichick, and then Lombardi, like the GM got taken down or asked to leave or something like that. But here we are. I'm recording this on Tuesday. And by the time you guys are seeing this, I'm hoping a roster update has come out. I'm really hoping before we actually use Tennessee, we're actually going to be able to use the actual, not running back. Oh my gosh, huge blitz. We did have that deep shot to Everhart too. The actual quarterback that they say is going to be starting for the Volunteers. But as of the recording of this, he is not in the game. So hopefully that's something we're going to see on Thursday, fingers crossed. And then I mean, that safety did get like fully kicked off the team, so he might just be gone, like off the roster completely. And I don't know what, I think the receiver's supposed to be back when he's not quite so hurt. Can we get this ball in there? I mean, that's open. It's just man coverage. A corner out from our tight end should get open on that, but unfortunately, not meant to be for us on this one. I mean, we're definitely going for it. I'm so tempted to just chuck a deep shot here. Like one-on-one with our guy Everhart, pass lead out to the left here. Or we do have some underneath options if need be. We do have our halfback wide open. I don't think we were going to be able to chuck that one up quite like we'd hoped, but we do have this TCU playbook there. You should have some pretty dang good answers for us against somebody just running a bunch of man coverage. And obviously, you know, TCU loses their quarterback to Indiana. Always kind of tough when that happens. We did have Y on that. We're just going to have to throw this away. We had a pocket for Y. I was just expecting man, and he actually came out in zone that time. But yeah, so it'd be interesting to see where TCU goes this season. I'm not sure what, like, their real life, what people are projecting them to be. I mean, they've certainly been a solid program for years and years and years, so wouldn't be surprised to still see them be able... Oh, man, I keep thinking we're popping a run, but we're just never quite getting through there. But it's still, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see them have another good, solid season. That's just kind of what they do for the most part. Okay, this is looking more like man here again, just from how he's aligned. Well, not so much anymore. We're just going to snap this one off here. Hope Y beats him on this. And then click on and catch it with Everhart. Good. Good, it was man. That was a nice little call there. Pick us up that first down. Keep this drive that is just never ending. Keep it alive, boys. If he's staying in some man, I do like a stick and nod. I don't hate our potential underneath attempt over here either. We'll just take the underneath. He did kind of have some zones over the middle there, so we'll just take our nice easy one. And just take our 4 yards. That's kind of been... That's just kind of been the kind of drive it's been for us. Duncan, trying to just take what he's given us here. I'm going to be definitely looking for this whip route right there. And then can we break a tackle with Everhart? We don't even need to turn on the gas a little bit, turn it upfield. Touchdown TCU. I mean, we did have our backs up against the wall there once or twice that drive, but that's 7 on the board. He's going right to some split twins, Y off. I don't know. This will just come out in a cover 3 against this. Does this have a double pass in it? Certainly a concern of mine right now. No, it is just a screen. Oh, all right. Way to get off that block. Way to go make a tackle. As soon as he swung out there and I saw I was throwing it to him, I started just running backwards. Gotta watch out for that goddamn double pass. Okay, this doesn't look right. I'm hoping it's just because he's on that sideline. But we went with a cover 9 match that time, and that play art didn't look great. He was on trips, had the halfback to the same side, so we didn't do any man-ups or anything like that. But yeah, TCU, North Carolina. I'm hoping it's not too similar to the game last year. Where, you know, North Carolina, first year under old Coach Belichick, looked pretty dang good. Put that first drive together, got their way down the field a little bit. Well, not a little bit. They went down the field and scored. And then he went for that read flat RPO. Went right down the field and scored. Gio Lopez looked great. North Carolina looked great. And then it was just a beatdown of epic proportions after that. So I'm hoping we don't see something like that. Maybe the TCU distractions. Maybe, it's another year of Belichick doing his thing. It's a game in Ireland. A lot of weird things can happen in those overseas games. So, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, it's week 0. College football is here. What else are we asking for? I will tell you the game I'm personally looking forward to the most. Well, really, there's two. I think Memphis UNLV has potential to be a fantastic game to start, and that's our nightcap, which is always nice. But I mean, I'm going to try a halfback draw here. But it's also going to be, take it outside 26. Take it outside 26. Use those wheels, brother. It's nice having a 94 speed running back like that. But I'm also very, very much looking forward to North Dakota State, their first ever game in the FBS. If we hadn't used them already, I would have been using them for this video. I could have used Jacksonville State, I guess, but I'm not excited for Jacksonville State, even if they have that 6'8" wide receiver. I'm excited to see North Dakota State. Gonna have that Fargo Dome rock, and super, super excited for that one. And just excited to have college football back, man. It's just such a good time. I can't believe it's finally here. The wait, it was such a long wait. Just take a quick one there. That wasn't quite our fast halfback, so we'll take it the second quarter, but there's such a long wait, and finally, it's over. The long national nightmare has finally come to an end. Oh, we got Heisman Magician over on Everhart now. I don't know if that even does anything on a wide receiver. Big tight end wide open right in that quick flat, quick drag, juke him out this way. That's a big juke that big man's got. He covered a lot of distance in one quick juke there. Another first down. TCU absolutely got it cooking here against Boise so far in this one. I still kind of like this idea of going to this RPO out to Pimpton. Let's see if it's going to be there. It is. Then just hold some blocks out there, boys. Take it in. Nice and easy. Big man, number 88, on the board for another TCU touchdown. Put your ones up. Acknowledge. Roman Reigns, acknowledge your tribal chief. 14-0 Horned Frogs. But yeah, you guys, since this is coming out on Friday, let me know what game you guys are most excited for coming up tomorrow. Obviously, I've gone over most of them, I feel like, at this point. Got TCU, North Carolina. I believe USC is the next game against San Jose State. Nothing against San Jose State. I don't think that's going to be a thrilling one. I am interested to see USC, though, just to kind of see what their plan is. How are they going to replace those wide receivers? Because, you got the quarterback back, which is the most important thing, especially for a Lincoln Riley team. But losing those two wide receivers, is that USC offense going to look the same? I mean, I hate to do San Jose State like this. We just used them and they weren't bad. But that's not exactly going to be the best test, but it'll at least give us a little bit of an idea. This is a crazy formation. Let's do our match. Let's do our cover 9 and come down with Jackson to help out in case it's going to be a run here. Oh, I was actually trying to switch down there to the guy that was guarding the halfback, but the pressure got in anyway. Now a 4th and 6. Boise punted last time. We'd be surprised if they do it again. Then North Carolina State, Virginia. I feel like I should. I'm glad that game's not in Brazil, because I hate when they do that. I don't really particularly like the Ireland games either. But at least it's not a conference game like last year's the Big 12 game with Iowa State and Kansas State. At least this year, TCU, North Carolina, not as big a deal. But North Carolina State, Virginia, they should never be playing in Brazil. I don't remember offhand if they agreed to play that game on a campus or if it's still a neutral site. I'm hoping it's on campus. But that could be a fun one. I really like CJ Bailey. Obviously, in the game this year, we just used North Carolina State. Virginia's playbook still very good. I'm just do a cover 2 and bring these guys down by 1. And, that could easily be a game of the day, too, even though I could see that one being not a blowout, but just kind of lower scoring, not nearly as fun. Oh, brother. I should have user picked that, but that was just right at us there. Another turnover on downs. I could definitely see that becoming a fun game. That might actually do it for us here. TCU is going to get the win against Boise. I mean, pretty solid offensive performance from us. 145 on 15 plays. Get in, get out, get the job done. It was really TCU's defense that did it more than anything. But anyway, back to week 0. Back to what's important here. Really, that North Carolina State-Virginia game, that just lead me up into the North Dakota State game. That starts at, I believe, 4:30 Central. I'm all talking Central Time. I've always lived in the Central Time Zone. These are just the times ingrained into my brain. But the Bison aren't the only team making their debut in week 0. Sacramento State is heading to Eastern Michigan. And so we just played on the blue field, which honestly looks a lot better in the game this year than it has in years past, in my opinion. It was just too saturated. It was too much for me. Seems to look a little bit better now. It looks much better than Eastern Michigan in their disgusting gray field. I hate that. I'm hoping Sacramento State wins just because I hate Eastern Michigan's field so much. That is sometime later, I think like 5:30, 6 o'clock, something like that. But really the main event. And we also have Stanford, Hawaii, and our Hawaiian king, the prince who was promised, Micah Alahado. Can't forget about that one. Hearing some rumblings about Stanford. People are kind of in on the Cardinal this year, but we'll see. I'm hoping Alahado is going to be able to put him down in week 0. I'm just always going to root for him in real life, considering what he did for Old Dominion in our College Football 26 online dynasty. Then that all leads into what, my opinion, the main event, Memphis UNLV. It is in Las Vegas. I said in yesterday's episode with UNLV that was in Memphis. Had that wrong, had that flipped. And what should be a fantastic game. See, new Coach Huff over at Memphis. He was at Marshall, went 1 year to Southern Miss, then goes right to Memphis. I mean, the guy wins. The guy certainly wins games. I don't know how long we can plan for him to stick around, but if he can do any sort of magic like he did with Southern Miss, because they were horrible, and then, well, he brought all of Marshall with him to the Golden Eagles and got them rolling a little bit. Maybe he can do the same with Memphis. Should be a super fun game. Jackson Arnold, Alex Orji, who's going to be the starting quarterback. Seems like it's going to be Jackson Arnold. They're talking about maybe sprinkling a little bit of both in there in that game. Going to be super interesting. Going to be super fun. I can't wait for week 0. But speaking of college football season finally being here, I do think that is going to lead to us skipping Saturdays. Since the launch of this game up until now, we've done every single day of the week. I'm pretty sure we haven't missed a day yet. With college football coming back, we're going to be taking Saturdays off. Just sit back, relax, watch the games a little bit. We are still going to be streaming on quite a few Saturdays, though. I almost said almost all, but I'm not sure if that's actually true. Over on our Dynasty channel that I plugged earlier, and on Twitch, twitch.tv/oldmantrying28, that's going to be like offline Dynasties starting in 2007. We're going to be doing Wisconsin first, where we just get to hang out. We don't have to really focus too much on the game. I can actually use the Xbox to watch YouTube TV while we're playing on the computer. Have some fun, hang out, play some Dynasty, and just keep an eye on the games that are happening. So we're planning on doing that here this coming Saturday. Anyway, that is a lot of rambling on my part. TCU done. TCU is off the board. Next up now is going to be Tennessee. I'm really hoping by then we get that roster update and we can use the actual 5-star freshman starting quarterback that the Volunteers are going to be using in real life. But if not, there's not really anything I can do about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will see you guys then. Until then, take it easy.